San Antonio, Texas, for the return of the NBC Boxing Tour, undefeated Jesse James Leija, a native of San Antonio, going against kickbox champion, one-time IBF featherweight champion, Troy Dorsey. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with the WBA cruiserweight champion, Bobby Chez. And here comes the popular Jesse James Leija, entering in blazing fashion. A most intriguing entrance for the hometown favorite, Jesse James Leija, as he gets set to meet up with Troy Dorsey. We'll be back with the fight in a moment.
Mark and my relationship.
Saturday Sports Showcase is brought to you by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline. And by Old Spice. Cool, crisp, and clean. It puts the wind in your sails.
Back at the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas. We're set for the introductions. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the main event, brought to you by Main Events Incorporated and Super Pro Events, a 10-round featherweight special attraction presented by Valvoline. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks, hailing from Mansfield, Texas. With a weight of 127 pounds, his record is 13 wins, 5 losses, and 4 draws, with 11 wins by way of knockout. Welcome the former IBF featherweight champion of the world, Troy, the Destroyer Dorsey. And introducing his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, from San Antonio, Texas. His weight was the same, 127 pounds, with a record of 23 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. He has 11 wins by way of knockout. Welcome the NABF featherweight champion, ranked number 3 in the world by the IBF, the undefeated Jesse James Leija.
Shot. Bob, you okay?
Not too bad.
I'll look at the tail of the tape. 1-inch height advantage for Troy Dorsey, who was telling us yesterday that it's difficult, he feels, to counter a 3-minute flurry. That's his strategy, a non-stop barrage. Can he get Leija into a brawl?
Well, if anybody can, he can. He's Mr. Pressure himself. He's a non-stop, action-packed fighter who throws more punches than anyone in the division, but Leija's going to have to use an effective jab and counterpunch from the outside till the time is right.
While Dorsey is so... Whoa, look out. Leija losing his balance. Dorsey's so well-conditioned from his kickboxing activities. A question concerning Leija has been his stamina or lack of stamina. You think that'll play a role?
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing that they've questioned is his stamina in the late rounds. And with this type of fight, if it's not good in the late rounds, he could be in trouble. We'll find out if he has that championship quality to go the distance.
And Leija and Dorsey opening up by throwing a barrage of punches.
Troy Dorsey relies on that chin because he's always going to get hit. He's just that type of fighter. And right now, I'll tell you what, this fight can't sustain this pace for 10 rounds.
This is a non-title featherweight bout, an over-the-weight bout. Both boxers coming in at 127 pounds.
I think Troy Dorsey's cut already around his left eye.
And looked to come in with a nick under the right eye. Says he suffered it in the kickboxing world back in early September when he took a fight, was put down, was able to rally and come back. Very dangerous to take that fight. And there's blood out of the eye of Dorsey.
Leija told me he felt he was so much the stronger of the punchers that he was going to offset that oncoming assault of Dorsey's by power punching. So far, he's doing it well.
Leija 23-0, one draw, 11 by knockout. That one draw against Pee Wee Parker. Dorsey, a record of 13-5 with 4 draws, 11 by KO. And we open with non-stop action over the first 2 minutes.
Right now, Leija is much more effective of the two, and he's using a vicious uppercut to really work Dorsey's face.
Scoring on the 10-point must system. No standing 8 count under the Texas Boxing Commission rules. There is a mandatory 8. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The bell saves the fighter only in the final round.
Dorsey's absorbed a lot of punishment already, and I mean, Leija is just tearing into him, but there is absolutely no quit in Dorsey. Forward, forward, forward. He only has one speed and one gear, and it's fast forward.
Leija landing with uppercuts. We come up to 10 seconds remaining in round 1. Well, the last professional boxing seen here on NBC was back in December of 1990 when Bobby Ches was a mere middleweight. That was some 35 pounds ago. It's now Bobby Ches, WBA cruiserweight champion.
We put on a few pounds over the years. Yeah, it's just been one of those times. As you get older, the weight just doesn't go away.
And it is on to round number 2. Jesse James Leija came out very strong in round 1 against Troy Dorsey. But Dorsey able to land with a couple of right hands to open up the second round.
This is the type of fight Dorsey's wanted, and he said it, and he's forcing it. And Leija, although is being very effective with his counterpunching, is falling into that brawl.
Dorsey's last fight, that's boxing, last May 2nd in Fort Worth, Texas, stopped Juan Valenzuela in the 4th round. His previous fight was last February at the Paramount at Madison Square Garden, New York, when he lost a 12-round decision against Kevin Kelly in a terrific bout. Kelly said after the fight, it was a night in hell. The volume of punches thrown was stunning. It was just nonstop, and that's the way this one has opened up.
See, what a lot of people don't understand is even though he's throwing the punches, just the fact that he's always coming forward becomes mental pressure. And that mental pressure, as well as the barrage of punches, become an awful adversary for any fighter to fight.
Leija's last fight was back in mid-July, a 10-round decision over Jesus Paul here in San Antonio. Leija landing to the chin of Dorsey.
Dorsey told me yesterday that he was going to work the body, just the body, strictly the body for the first 3 or 4 rounds, and he seems very, very intent on doing just that. But he is being forced to fight up and down, up and down. His face now is becoming a bloody mess.
We're approaching 1 minute remaining in the second round. Dorsey has been cut many times before. He lost his second professional bout back in 1986 on cuts when the fight was stopped in 2 rounds. So he has been through this on a number of occasions.
Right now, I think Leija's established that he's the bigger puncher, but Dorsey never pays any attention to punches. He said, they don't bother me that much, so I don't pay attention to them. And he is just coming forward, but getting hit awfully hard on the way in.
Certainly a question about the power behind the punches, though, of Troy Dorsey. He's landing frequently, but you wonder how much damage he's doing.
I guess he's more like the Chinese water torture. He's just constantly there, and eventually the attrition and buildup either gets to you or doesn't.
I never thought of it quite that way, though. to the end of the second round.
Leija's fighting the fight from the inside as well as he would have fought it from the outside. He's ripping those uppercuts, and Dorsey just keeps coming in, and he's getting hit with those uppercuts. He's doing a terrible job on his face.
And this is round 3. It is scheduled for 10. A non-title featherweight bout, over-the-weight fight. Jesse James Leija on the right, Troy Dorsey on the left.
Dorsey being a little more effective now with the overhand right. I think some of the pressure might be getting to Leija a little bit. He's being forced to fight much more of a war than he wants to.
Leija began boxing at the age of 19 against the wishes of his father, a one-time Texas Golden Gloves champion. Jesse, a San Antonio Golden Gloves title holder. In the 1988 Olympic trials, lost to two-time world amateur champion Kelsey Banks on a close decision. Turned pro in October of '88, opening with a first-round knockout, and he is undefeated. This is 25th professional fight, and this a step up, a major step for Leija going against Dorsey.
Yeah, certainly this step up, and with this type of fighter, it gets to tell you a lot of things about a young fighter. Can he go the distance? When a guy he hits doesn't go down, doesn't hurt, doesn't wobble, how will he react to the pressure? How will he react to the time? It's going to be a great test for him. The problems Dorsey's having is when he gets hit, he's getting hit so clean. They're not glancing blows, they're all terribly flush.
Troy Dorsey won the featherweight title, stopping Alfred Ron in the first round in June of '91, but lost the title in his first defense, losing by decision to Manuel Medina last August in Los Angeles. He's fought Jorge Paez twice, losing a tough 12-round split decision in a title fight. And in a rematch for the crowd, they fought a 12-round draw. Under a minute left in round 3.
So far, it's been Dorsey's most effective round, but he still has to get more done. He has to get more on the inside. He has to be a little bit more conscious of those punches that are coming at him, make some of them miss or deflect him a little bit. Fights like these shorten men's careers drastically.
And we have, nice uppercut by Leija, and he caught Dorsey, who just hangs on. Final seconds of the third.
Jesse James Leija just landing this right uppercut on the money every time. It is tearing up Troy Dorsey's face, and I'm telling you, it's a very powerful uppercut.
And this is round 4 with the WBA Cruiserweight champion Bobby Chez on Marv Albert from the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio, Texas. How do you have it on the scorecard?
Well, right now, you have to give these first 3 rounds to the youngster. I think Leija has proven that he came here to fight as well and show that he really is the good. So Troy Dorsey has his work cut out for him. He has to overcome an early deficit, and it's those late rounds that have been questioned in Leija's corner.
Dorsey told us yesterday that he would try to put Leija on the ropes. He has not been able to do that.
Even when he's got him on the ropes, he hasn't been effective. He's squared off and got hit with vicious uppercuts and hooks. And Leija, to his credit, has stepped around him many times and spinned off.
Troy Dorsey spending much time in the sauna during the course of the week to make the weight. Get the feeling that he will be moving up from the featherweight ranks.
Unfortunately for Troy Dorsey, he doesn't punch hard for this division. To move up might really be very, very difficult for him. And he said that he's working on his power because he's been upset about some of the decisions that he thought he won, and he's got to start knocking people out.
And Dorsey has been sparring with a a bigger man, Gene Hatcher, the one-time junior welterweight champion.
That's the jab, baby. Give me the jab on the outside now.
Halfway through round number 4, Jesse James Leija represents a rebirth for boxing here in the San Antonio area. Boxing interest fell off following Tony Aiello's departure to prison. At one time, San Antonio considered one of America's best boxing areas. They drew big crowds for Danny Little Red Lopez against Mike Aiello. That was back in '79 in a title bout. Tony Aiello always drew well.
Oh yeah, he was a terrific fighter, exciting fighter. The whole family were fighters, and it's a terrible shame what happened.
Bring him up!
Even as Troy Dorsey has Leija on the ropes, he's not landing with pinpoint accuracy. He's not landing good, clean, flush blows. Obviously throwing a lot as he always does, but he's not making them all count, and it's just not working to his advantage right now. Some of the pressure might be catching up with Leija a little bit. We see he's throwing less punches, but again, when he lands them, they're harder and they're cleaner, and his accuracy is so much better that it's causing Dorsey to have nothing but trouble.
Both have the same barber. Jesse's 81-year-old grandfather, who still owns and operates his own barber shop here in San Antonio. That is Jesse Leija.
Yeah, it's one of those things you fall into a religious ceremony and you never want to break it.
Yeah. Leija also goes through a bizarre, mysterious ritual with a local medicine man by the name of Jack Glover, who claims he was trained by old tribal Indian doctors. Glover runs the Cowboy Museum and Gallery here at San Antonio.
Well, Troy Dorsey's not only got to fight a very good Jesse James Leija, but he's got to fight the spirit world as well. He's in for a tough night.
It is round number 5. Marv Albert with Bobby Ches. The boxing tour reviving here on NBC. And will resume on Saturday, October 24th. Will be in Portland, Maine for WBA lightweight champion Joey Gamache against the former champ Tony the Tiger Lopez. And they will meet in Gamache's home area. Gamache has won 29 in a row, including 18 by knockout.
The last round was Troy Dorsey's best round. He was a little more of a workhorse, maybe even snuck out the round. But again, he gets hit so clean that it's very difficult to throw points his way.
And checking out Dorsey before the fight, I got the idea that he had covered up one of his cuts with the use of some makeup. Was that
well, it's something that
you would do?
Yeah, it's something I would probably do. No sense giving your opponent an extra target to focus on. And, you know, if he sees a bruise there, he'll know there's some tenderness, some soreness there, so they may want to concentrate on an injury.
So you've pulled that a few times.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was just that or my vanity, but it was one of them.
Once again, Leija able to land uppercuts. The crowd responding to the hometown favorite, Jesse James Leija, with 1 minute remaining in this 5th round.
One of the most underestimated punches in boxing is the uppercut. It is such a vicious punch, and you can see what it's doing to Troy Dorsey's face. It's winning the fight for Leija almost by itself. Cut around both eyes now, Troy Dorsey, and I see him doing some blinking from the blood. It is moving into his eyes.
And blood flowing from both eyes of Troy Dorsey. He's having difficulty seeing.
He can't see right now. I saw him make a move, and he's almost squinting through the blood. He is having an awful time trying to see.
Final seconds of the round. stay right here between rounds. Oh, Dorsey took a shot at the bell and was stunned. Referee David Avalos checking out Troy Dorsey. Avalos and the two ringside doctors can all stop the fight, and Avalos has done just that. He said it's all over. Jesse James Leija has stopped Troy Dorsey in 5. So Jesse James Leija with a very impressive performance to make it a record of 24-0-1 and now 12 by knockout. Will return to the hemisphere in San Antonio after these messages from your local station. Back in San Antonio, the celebration continuing within the ring. The bout stopped a moment ago. We're told on the advice of the ringside officials, the referee stopped the bout. Jesse James Leija with that strong right hand just as the bell ending the 5th round sounded. And it put Dorsey down to one knee. He was able to stumble back to his corner as the round came to a conclusion. He was checked out and the fight was stopped at the end of the 5th. So Jesse James Leija goes to 24-0-1 for the official word. Let's get back to the ring for Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee in charge, David Avalos, stops this contest on advice of the ringside physician at the end of round number 5. It goes into the books as a 6th round TKO. The winner and still undefeated, Jesse James Leija.
Alongside the winner, Jesse James Leija, is Bobby Chaz. Let's go to Bobby.
Jesse, no one gave you credit for showing the punching power that you had today. Is this something you've been working on? How'd you feel about it?
I felt good. First of all, I'd like to say hi to Pops in Austin. I know you're sick. I'm pulling for you and everybody in Milwaukee. And no one said I had any power. But I've been training so darn hard for this fight. And I want to tell everybody out there, all the kids, you think positive and work hard and good things happen. This is proof.
What do you have down the road? What's next? Where do you want to be?
I want to celebrate just a little bit. I've been training for 2 months for this fight. I'm tired. I'm hoping for a world title. I will hope that someone will give me a world title shot.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take it back to Marv.
All right, Bob, yes, Jesse James Leija looking for a title shot against the IBF title holder, Manuel Medina of Mexico. From San Antonio now, let's go to our studios in New York for an update. Here's Jim Lampley.
Hey, he was